What state are you in after Friday when you get back in today?
We got back in yesterday, and there was a few sore bodies and a few sore heads as well in terms of the game on the weekend, and I suppose our job yesterday to try and put that to bed. What we've done up until 7:45 on Friday night was put ourselves in a great position. We played some good rugby, we played winning rugby, and we've just got to make sure we hold on to that and not use Friday night as a bit of a motivator in terms of producing a sort of performance that's deserving of being a top four side and wearing the jersey, but not forgetting what's got us into that position. I think that's when all the emotion dies down and when your annoyance subsides a little bit. By Monday and Tuesday, it's about working on how we can affect the next game, and that's Ulster. We can't affect what happened against Treviso. It was unacceptable in many ways, but we're still in the hunt, and that's really important that we don't forget what's got us there.
Turning point was when they were down to 13 men. You seemed to be on top in the scrum, and actually they came back and totally dominated that period of 13 players. Mentally more, because you should have physically been comfortably on top.
I think we probably made a couple of wrong calls. We tried to scrummage them when they had a full pack. I think they moved their winger to 8, who is an 8 as well. So they had a fairly decent scrum. It got disruptive. They turned the ball over. We had like 5 on 3 or 6 on 3 in the back line. So simple thing there would have been to get the ball out of there and release our backs. We would have walked in, but we didn't, and that sometimes is part of the pressure that you've got to deal with, and they came and turned around and ended up scoring 10 or 12 points in that period. So that was a mental blow. At 26-12 then, from sort of 16-12, we end up chasing the game, and then we probably suffered a little bit mentally. We were out of the game, and lads started to do things that we don't see very often, just simple errors, dropping the ball, making poor decisions, and that fed Treviso, and it certainly didn't do us any favours.
How was everyone? George in particular went off, but a few others too.
Yeah, I think we've actually, the guys have done a really good job in their recovery, and we're looking healthier than I thought we would be, to be honest. So, we will be possibly missing a couple, but we'll leave final selection until Thursday before we travel.
Ulster sort of come across as a team of the season in the Rabo. That was sort of underlined at the awards ceremony for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, they won just about everything. So fair play to them. They've gone well this year, and that's an incentive, I suppose, in itself. They won a few individual awards. They won the Team Try Award, and it's they finished top, deservedly so, but anything can happen in the playoffs, one-off games, and we're focused for Friday night.
They had a slump. They had a few injuries, and the Heineken quarter-final obviously was a blow to them. But on the whole, you'd look at certainly the Rabo and say they're comfortably the team of the season, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think they went 12 games. They go 12 games unbeaten at one stage. I think the 13th game they lost. I know it's not the Rabo, but they lost to Northampton, didn't they? But they won 11 on the bounce, I think, in the Rabo, and then went to Northampton. They're a quality outfit. They've got a couple of individuals that obviously do some damage for them. Pinar, in particular, is a key player for them. Muller, Afoa, Nick Williams. So they've got a spine of their team. Payne as well at the fullback. So the spine of their team is pretty strong, and it's there consistently for them, and that's shown in their consistency throughout the season.
Particularly strong at Ravenhill.
Yeah, they're pretty good there, but I don't think many people gave Northampton a chance when they went there earlier in the season, and that's the beauty of this game, is that sides can go into every week in a different week, things can happen and things can change. I think we've seen that this season on a number of occasions. Munster going to Harlequins was one of those that no one gave them a chance, and I don't think many people give us a chance, but that's not too concerning for me. We know what we have to do. We have to be far better than they were on Friday, and if we show that kind of commitment that we've had up until Friday night, then we'll be in the game right to the end. So yeah.
I don't know what the bookies' odds are, but they'll be massively in favour of Ulster, I would imagine. I mean, is that fair? Is there anyone outside of this corner that would disagree with that? Or?
No, that's what it is, isn't it? And I think you look at their form at home, you look at their form against us, you look at our form last week, and that's the way it is, and we can't change that. We can make a few people lose some money, maybe, or make some people win some decent money on Friday when we win. But that's out of our control, isn't it? And probably rightly so. That's the way it is because of what's happened up until now between ourselves and them, and the league position, and what happened on Friday night for us.
With the Scarlets, by making the last four, it's an improvement. Obviously, you've made a bit of a statement. You put yourself in that sort of elite grouping within the Rabo just by doing that. Is that almost, from the outside, people would say that's almost enough for you? That's potentially where it ends.
Well, you'd like to think that we have more to give than just to get in the top four. Once you get there, you want to kick on and make the most of the opportunity. I think if you look at across the four teams in the top four, we're probably battling against the other teams in terms of budgets and the quality of opposition. But we've got there by hook or by crook in the end, and once we're there, we're not going to say that's enough. We'd be waiting a long time until September to get to play again as a team. So I think that's the nice thing about us getting through. We haven't got to wait till September the 6th to play again as a team. We've only got a week to put what happened on Treviso right. So there's a little bit of incentive there for that. But certainly getting there isn't what we wanted to get there. But once you get there, you want to kick on and make the most of it.
Simon, in a way, is it frustrating that the fact that the achievement of reaching the top four has been overshadowed by what happened last weekend? And probably no one's giving you the credit, I suppose, that you set the target of reaching the top four, you've done it. There are a lot of changes here.
Possibly, but I think it's what happened on Friday was fresh. Yeah. It happened recently, and it was poor. There's no hiding from that. So we can't. What I said at the start is important. That we have to be. We have to take what we've done to get there. I think that's important. Yeah. We've actually since probably the December-January period where things were not going very well for us. We've sort of turned the corner then, and we went on a good run. Starting with Leicester here in the LV, and we've continued that run apart from Leinster and Treviso. So that's what's got us there. The start of the season was good as well. We started the season particularly well, and I don't think you can forget the trips to Connacht and Edinburgh and Munster and Glasgow. Those trips where we've lost in the past, and it seems like a long time ago, but actually they've had a huge bearing on us getting to this position. And probably you look at the last couple of weeks and you think, well, they've got there, but a bit fortunate on the weekend. But what we did in the rest of the season, I think, is of more value.
You say about Ulster, okay, they've had a great season. They have had some lows in the season. They're eminently beatable.
Yeah, I think
Saracen showed it.
Yeah, I think.
And they've had a couple of other games they haven't been.
Yeah, I think they were, untouchable for a while at the start, weren't they? Yeah. But they haven't. They certainly haven't been untouchable recently. No. And Saracen showed a couple of weeks ago in the quarter-final. maybe they went into that as possible favourites. I know they were playing Sarries away, but there was a little bit of a little bit of a turn there. I think Sarries did a job on them, and we have the opportunity this week to do exactly the same. There's a couple of things you need to do when you go to Ulster. You got to front up. You've got to try and outmuscle them because they are a heavy set, and we have to be smart as well, and we have to play near to our best, I think, and that's not saying that we can't do that. It's just going to mean that we're going to have to be right on the money to get a result, and hopefully that allows us to be as competitive as we can be, and we walk away whatever happens, knowing that we've given everything. I think if we give everything and we know we've played our best, then we're going to be difficult to beat as well.
You've got some players that in your squad as well can cause them problems.
Yeah, certainly. As much as we're talking about a lot of their players, we've got some quality that have come through this year, some unknowns, and also some of the guys have stood up and taken on their form of the Welsh squad, and we've got a good mix to our team at the moment, I think. Sides will certainly be threatened by us. It's just a case of us making sure that we don't just do it in the talking. We make sure we go out and put those into actions. And I think we'll have a good support travelling over there, I'm sure, and we want to give them something to cheer about after the season that we've had, and certainly after the finish we had at home, which was a big disappointment in terms of finishing the home campaign off.
You just announced Jonathan Edwards and Kieran Murphy.
Yeah.
Obviously, that leaves you a little bit light, number 8 wise, because you mentioned Rob not playing in his preferred position.
Yeah.
Obviously, number 8, I assume, then is a priority for you.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of areas we're still to fill, but number 8 and back 3 are still 2 positions which we need to recruit in. Kieran has come in the last couple of years, and he's really accelerated his development. He's come in late, I suppose, into the professional game, and he's gone really well. And I think we're restricted a little bit in terms of budgets, but also we'd like to be able to complement someone like Rob, who's gone really well for us this year there, with someone with probably a bit more ball carrying ability, a bit more gain line, and that's probably been evident in some of the other sides we played against this year. We've sometimes missed out on a little bit of that. Johnny has been an outstanding player for this region for the 8 years he's been here, and really tough call on him losing out. We felt like make a change there with John coming in, John Barkley, but also Dan Thomas has certainly been developing nicely over the last 12 months, and we just felt like it was time to make a change there. But Johnny's been outstanding, and one of those conversations which you really don't want to have, but unfortunately that's part of professional sport, and Johnny goes with our utmost respect and best wishes, really.
Psychology this week. How will you pick them up then? Is it a case you've got to control them, encourage them, or is it different personalities in the squad?
Bit of both, probably. Yeah, I think certain individuals react certain ways. Yeah, so it's good cop, bad cop type thing.
Yeah.
Me, Danny, and Mark, and it's just for 1 minute I don't think they don't understand how disappointed they were on Friday, and I think that will hopefully show in the performance on the weekend. At this stage of the season, you can't really put a huge amount of work in, change too much, but it's about bringing that physicality I spoke about earlier, about the drive and the desire to win. But that sometimes shows in execution and accuracy, but it also for me shows in work rate and intensity, and we probably didn't have any of those on Friday night. So what's good for me is that all this is fixable. It's fixable within a few days. It's not going to take us 3 months till we play again, which is nice.
Who's who then in the good cop, bad cop?
Our combination, I think we just seem to it seems to work nicely between us all. We all seem to have a share in those type of things, and it's no good one person doing it all the time, doing one thing, and you just need to have a balance. And I think we get that most of the time right. Sometimes we don't get it right, but hopefully this week it won't need us too much to be on at the players. I think they understand the importance of putting Friday night right, but also the opportunity to get into the top two and get to the final is an incentive enough, hopefully.
What was training like yesterday? I mean, after a performance like that, some coaches would give the players a bit of a beasting. Was there anything like that going on? Or?
No, I mean it was. As I say, it's important that we get Friday out of our system, but also not lose sight of what we've got ahead. And as I said, hopefully the players, I think they did. The players understood their quality and their intensity wasn't right on Friday, and they're the ones that will be driving this week.
That's certainly, Simon. In terms of the Wales squads announced last week, they've got a chance. Obviously, a couple of fresh faces from here, Emir and Aled. Must be delighted for them to have made.
Yeah, they still to cut that, aren't they?
Still to cut to five,
to 27. But no, it's great that we've got so many in that training group, and I think it shows the depth that we have here. But it's down to a lot of hard work that those players have put in all year, and we're starting to see the rewards, and that's really what you want as a coach. Ideally you want as many players playing at the highest level, which international rugby is now. Sometimes we could do without those players going away, but when it comes to players making their first senior squad appearance and potentially going on tour and getting capped, then that's exactly what I want as a head coach, and hopefully developing those players to play at that level will then allow them to come back and be better players when they return to us, and that's a positive for me.
Simon, Scarlets, that big win in Ulster in 2007, I think, was the Heineken Cup.
It was wet and cold, yeah.
Wet and cold and all. Is that so? Would you bring that sort of thing up this week?
A lot of players wouldn't have been playing then, and that's a while ago. But I think what I spoke about earlier, those games this season that maybe have involved other sides that have gone and proved critics wrong and proved the doubters wrong, proved the pundits wrong, and really proved to themselves as well more than anything that they're better than what they showed the week before. And I think that for me is what this group will look to do on the weekend, and to a man there'll be huge frustrations after the weekend, and hopefully the majority of those players have the opportunity to go and put that right.